to today's episode of the Avid AI Solutions podcast, where we speak with leaders driving innovation across finance, real estate, operations, and technology. This episode is powered by AI Solutions. At Avid AI, we help organizations streamline operations, reduce inefficiencies, and implement smarter systems so teams can really focus on serving clients and scaling, not putting out fires. And with that being said, let's jump right into today's conversation. Today, we're joined by Adriana Gomez, COO at Waren's Financial Group, an organization known for helping both first-time homebuyers and seasoned investors navigate the loan process with clarity, transparency, and integrity. Adriana, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you kick us off by introducing yourself and sharing a bit about your story and your role in the mortgage industry?
Absolutely. So I have been in the industry for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
My name's, like you mentioned, Adriana. I'm the COO. I was brought onto this industry by Franklin Warrens, who's the owner of the company, the CEO.
Mhm.
I was his very first hire, so I joined
Oh,
the
wow.
industry at whenever you come into these job roles, you're like, I don't really know too much about it. I was just,
Mm.
starting off. My work ethic has always been like crazy, a little bit,
Mhm.
a little bit psychotic, if you ask me. But so yeah, joining him was a little bit, he Wolf of Wall Streeted me, right? He's like, hey, come on, this is what it could look like. I didn't believe him. He to this day says that I was his most difficult hire because it took me a long time
Really?
to really just like
Why did you
be
not believe him?
it's not that I didn't believe him, it's that, in a corporate like mindset, you think that like you tap out or that's the best that you're ever gonna find. You
Yeah.
don't really see the benefits or like the idea that the sky it really was the limit for us.
Hmm.
So at the time it was very difficult to just be like, is this my friend Franklin or is this Sales Franklin? Because Sales Franklin, let me tell you, he's pretty amazing. So I was like, which one of these people am I having a conversation with at the moment?
Okay.
So then finally I decided to join on, and yeah, he was doing great things at the time, but he needed a hand. We needed systems, we needed operations, we needed all of these things. And yeah, slowly and surely we learned a lot through the process. He had partners at one time. We recently and then we kind of took on Warren's Financial about 2 years ago now. And
And
we've
what do you
been
guys actually do?
we do. Well, for my job role in itself is I handle a lot of the operations and the management of the company in itself.
Hmm.
But the team, we have a team of loan officers who help people, like you mentioned, finance homes and seasoned investors get to their goals, either property wise or financial wise. Like we really are all in one place, I guess that you could.
Amazing. Amazing. What does a typical day look like for you overseeing operations in a lending environment?
It's crazy. It's chaotic. I feel
Crazy.
like every day there's something new, but
Yeah.
it's coming in, making sure that everybody, I believe in people will succeed in a place where they're happy.
Hmm.
Motivation does grow when people genuinely love what they do. So first and foremost is
Sure.
making sure that everybody who physically is here and even everybody who's not here is okay in their job role and is being helped
Hmm.
and guided through whatever process or challenges are going through. Because even when you're already an established loan officer or an established processor, for example, there's things that come up that you don't always know the day to
Mm.
day.
Yeah.
So yeah, making sure that they're caught up, that they are being helped in every aspect of their day to day, and then also making sure that the systems that here everybody's sponsored, every license thing, all the compliance things are running. That Franklin's day to day is also put together, and
Hmm.
yeah. So I guess I know it's very generic, but it's it's kind of crazy. I help people,
Yeah,
grow
for
their
sure.
teams, develop their teams. Hey, what are we looking at today? I help them structure their day. I help see, I have
Nice.
meetings about growth and development. And hey, the year's about to end. So what I want to do next year is this. How can I implement some of these things that you guys have taught us? What can
Mm.
I do different? All of those things. So it's a little bit of strategic growth planning and also helping continue running what we're already doing.
Amazing. I love that. I love that for sure. Now, when we look at the industry as a whole,
Hmm.
the lending world has changed massively over the last few years. What major
Absolutely.
shifts have you seen personally or are you seeing
Um,
right now in the home loan and refinance space right now?
I think that it's a lot of like a speed thing, adaptability to
Mm,
technology. We have artificial intelligence, so many things that are
for sure.
rolling and developing. So adapting to change is very important. And also making sure that the team is caught up and that there's trainings and that we're learning and trying
Hmm.
to keep up with the new days because speed will win and kill deals, right? So we want to make sure that
Absolutely.
we're keeping up with the market and we're keeping up with our clients and our agents and our partners and everybody so we can, adapt to the ever changing technology world, everything.
Are you guys currently using AI within the business?
Yeah, we do. A lot of the systems that we already currently use, some of the lenders that we work with already have AI integrated in their systems. So that's one way
Nice.
that we're already using, we day-to-day things, we'll use ChatGPT here and there. But yes,
Hmm.
it's very much incorporated in our day-to-days.
Lovely, lovely. How about for a more outreach on a scale for the business? So let's say we were looking
Mhm.
to find people that may potentially want to, that are interested in real estate. How would
Mhm.
we go about finding these people? Would we leverage AI using that?
Right now we do to an extent leverage it. We also have team members who also help with that. So as we continue growing, we're hiring and we're building from within or even outsourcing. But yes, we use AI to kind of help us reach out. And we do marketing. We have a team here in-house that kind of helps with the marketing and social media content creation because I feel like that at the time has well
Yeah,
at this day and age has a lot of outreach to a lot of like our targeted audience per se. So yeah, a lot of it is integrated with AI. We're not solely depending on it, but we are using it to kind of get to where we want to go.
amazing, amazing. Now, I have a lot of these conversations with CEOs, COOs
Hmm.
from many different industries, and I usually get one of two answers, right? I get, yes, we are leveraging AI, or no, we're not leveraging AI at
Yeah.
all. And I find that really interesting knowing that there's so many CEOs out there who are just ignoring the fact that there's untapped potential. So, how do you feel about the fact that you guys are actually using AI, and what's the significance of using AI? And of course, it's an ever growing field, right? It's just constantly going to be
Mm.
growing. How could you see it actually improve your business as a whole in the next 6 to?
With so much, like I mentioned, adaptability, technology, none of
Yeah,
us like but change is inevitable. In order for you to grow, you
absolutely.
have to be uncomfortable. So when we talk about AI and integrating it in our business, we might not like it because, people fear the fact of, hey, they're going to take my job or they're going to do this.
Yeah,
But if you learn to use it properly, I feel like it could help you
absolutely.
definitely grow and build. I mean, there's so many things that, yes, I do a lot of it, but for example, I do so much on my day to day. It's hard to keep up with it. I get overwhelmed.
Sure.
So being able to just
How does
hop
that
on
make you
something,
feel being
it makes
like overwhelmed?
I mean, it doesn't make me feel bad. I just know that it's the name of the game with an ever changing business. And if we're growing, that's a great thing to, like, what is the saying? You're blessed to be stressed because
Absolutely.
ideally, yeah, I'm overwhelmed, but look at the growth. Look at how far we've come. So, yeah, being overwhelmed, sometimes it'll help me create a spreadsheet. It'll help me create some SOPs that didn't even cross my mind. So, it's just kind of
Mm,
added help. And that's how we adapt to it. And that's how we utilize it in our business to make sure that we're continuing to grow and continuing to develop ourselves. Because, I mean, growth is
that's really
inevitable. The
interesting.
sky's the limit.
For sure, for sure. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. That. And currently, right now within the business, what would you say is working really well for you and the team at the moment?
I think it's a mixture of culture and like data tasks, just
Hmm.
expectations, helping the team get motivated, their work ethic, the operations
Sure.
that we have in the systems and operations that we have in place already. I think the culture, first and foremost, is so important. I am very big about servant leadership, and I believe that when you're in a leadership role, you have to help develop your team members and you have to be there. You have to not be scared to roll up your sleeves and help them get to where they want to go or to
For
help them
sure.
succeed. So I feel like that kind of motivates them and empowers them to see us helping them and developing them to then them do the same with for themselves and for their teams. So I would think the culture and then systems and process every day is a trial and error style. We'll
Mm,
try all these crazy things and if they work, perfect. If they're not working, hey, let's try something else to make sure that we're
sure.
always evolving with everything and all the adapting of change that's coming up.
I really respect that, to be honest, because I used to work in a really fast-paced environment.
Hmm.
And I think the one thing that was lacking, as you mentioned, for yourself is for you guys, it was really good, is the culture. And what was really lacking
Mm,
in our workplace was that culture, the fact that we are one team or one community. And when one person's winning, everyone's winning. And when one
absolutely.
person's stressed out, overwhelmed, etc., the whole business is. So I
Mm.
feel like that's really good that you mentioned that you guys leverage the fact, the real good culture within your business. I really respect that for sure.
Communication has to be everything.
Mm,
We have to be
for
able to
sure.
let them be able to communicate because their voice matters, and that's the only way that we are going to grow. Like, this is not about me, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than everyone. And we want to make sure that in order for us to continue getting to the next step, they're helped and motivated and also, heard to ensure that everyone's on the same page and we're all growing together. Nobody gets left
Absolutely.
behind.
Sure. Now let's flip the script. What's been the most challenging, whether that's volume, regulation, consumer expectations, or market uncertainty as well? What would you say it is?
I think it's just like an ever-changing growth. I think
Mm-hmm.
growth comes with challenges. So coming from, being the only hire to then starting off with 5, 10 people to now more, I think it's just the adapting to the growth has been probably challenging, helping
Mm-hmm.
develop the people, but it's not just challenging, it's also a little like, what is the word I'm looking for? It's not just challenging, it's like fulfilling at the same time
Yeah.
because not only are we going through these hurdles with them, but we're also helping get through them. So yeah, they're challenges of the growth, but they're also like aha moments or raw moments where we
Yeah, for
get to
sure.
like see people grow and develop while they're also being challenged, if that makes sense.
How important is that for you to see the people grow? What does it feel like?
I think it makes me, I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine, seeing a kid
Mm-hmm.
succeed like a proud parent style.
Yeah.
Because you see them start off at a certain pace or a certain place in time, and then to see
Mm-hmm.
them kind of learn from their mistakes and continue developing. We're very big on like self-driven, like solutions driven, because the only way people I think learn is like hands-on and putting things into place. So whenever they figure things
Mm,
out on their own, it's very like, and we kind of teach them to also use their resources to see them kind of succeed from the growth and development that we've kind of implement. It's just fulfilling, if
for sure.
anything.
For sure. For sure. And I can definitely agree with that. I used to work in that fast-paced
Mm-hmm.
environment, and I was one of the managers there. And it was so good to see a newbie come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he or she would have no idea what was going on. And day by day, you'd build them up. And a month, 2 months time, 6 months time, you'd see a completely different person to the person that walked in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really amazing to see. It's really amazing to see the impact you can have on someone. And
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier, combine that with the culture, you can really create a brilliant workspace for everyone working there, for sure. Have you watched Harry Potter by any chance?
I don't really watch TV, which is crazy, right? But
Really?
everybody is like big Harry Potter fans. And I'm like, I need to start watching these movies or read
You
the
should
books or
watch it. You should
something
watch it.
because everybody's like obsessed with Harry Potter and I don't watch. It's not like a peer pressure or a trend thing. I just really like dedicate my time
No,
to
yeah,
like
I know what you
the
mean.
team and all of this stuff. It sounds crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like psychotic, the fact that I'm so invested in what I do
Nah,
to the
nah,
day to
it's
day,
that's a
but
respectful thing. It shows you're committed, right?
but I don't watch TV.
I'll tell you something.
That's
If you were in the
crazy.
UK and you said you hadn't watched Harry Potter, you'd get
I would get
crucified
murdered,
for that.
huh?
You would.
No.
But you understand the concept, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Uh-huh.
magician and all that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you a question. Let's say if you had a magic wand right now
Uh-huh.
and you could wave it, you could remove one operational or industry challenge today, right here, right now. What would you change?
I don't think it would really have anything to do with like an operation in itself. I think it would have to
Hmm.
do with removing the negative mindset in people's heads, I guess. I think
Okay,
we get in our
interesting.
own heads a lot of the time, and that's what stops us from continuing to develop or continuing to grow. So if I had a magic wand and I could take something away from the industry, it would be the negative mindset or the negative
Hmm.
thought process of the continuance to grow because I do think that we get in our own way when it comes to our growth and the thought process. A lot of it has to do with like how positive you are and like we're helping
Yeah,
families getting either into their home or helping investors continue to grow. So as we're in that mindset, just kind of remembering what we're doing it for and reminding
for
ourselves who
sure.
we really are and how much we empower ourselves and how the mind is a very powerful thing and I would take away, yeah,
Absolutely,
that's the one thing I would do. It wouldn't
for
necessarily
sure.
be like an operation thing.
No, yeah, that's a really good answer. That's not a lot of people don't say that, which is interesting. So that's a really good answer. Very unique for sure. And I could see how it would help overall day to day. I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier regarding the Warren's Financial Group. You mentioned obviously you guys use social media to
Hmm.
present the value of what you guys are offering, right?
Hmm.
How important is using social media, especially today within the business industry, the financial industry, the
You
homeowner
know,
industry?
I feel like it is a lot. It's like everything, if anything, because, people wake up first thing in the morning and what's the first thing they do? That's
Hmm.
horrible, actually.
Phone,
But
right?
realistically, everybody pulls out their phone and starts scrolling or looking through things. So
Yeah,
if we could engage the people and show them what we're capable of, what our team is capable of, educate them, show them the opportunities that are available, then I think we could make an impact. So that's why we do have a social media content creation within the company to ensure that we're kind of just making sure that we're helping out as many people as we can and that the outreach is there to not just to grow the company but also to show people what really does happen or help or there's so many misconceptions about purchasing a
for
home
sure.
right now.
So many.
Credit scores, assets,
Mm,
income. There's so many different ways to kind of get approved for the purchase of a home, and a lot of people don't know about that. So using social media to kind of engage and also show the people that us as a company, we're human too, and we joke in the office all the time about how we could potentially talk about like I don't know if you've ever watched The Office, but
I've seen
how
clips
we're
of it.
but we're funny, we're genuine, all of those
Yeah,
things. So yeah, so utilizing social media to kind of grow and kind of educate and outreach and all
for
of those
sure.
things is important. And it is something we do implement.
Amazing. Now, I've spoken to so many CEOs, right?
Huh?
They actually say the opposite. They say they don't touch social media at all. They only
Hmm.
get their leads generated only through referrals or
Hmm.
cold emails, cold calls, etc. Do you guys
Hmm.
use any of that, or is it solely just social media?
It's not solely social media. I feel like we empower because it is us within the company, but we also
Hmm.
empower our team to do what's best for them. So, like, if one loan officer likes to go to networking events and meet people in person, and that's how they're getting their leads, we'll help you develop
Hmm.
that skill set. Social media, obviously, we provide it for the company. We've seen it grow, we've seen it work for a lot of people, so we do definitely want to provide that availability. But if you're getting your leads and you're growing your business by referral partners and meeting with people, it's whatever you feel more comfortable with, because not social
Sure.
media is not for everyone, and I do understand
Absolutely.
that it is ever growing, and I do believe that if we do kind of implement a little bit more or encourage them to use it a little bit more, it could, benefit them. There's nothing wrong with like trying different things, but I do like to empower my team to first and foremost start getting comfortable with what it is that they're doing to kind of bring in the business and generate their leads, and then we can maybe see about other avenues as we trial and error, right? As we continue developing,
Absolutely.
maybe this works, maybe this doesn't work, or hey, or you're doing a video this way for social media, let's try something a little bit different that might fit your personality, might fit. So
Hmm.
yeah, we provide all sorts of different, like all sort of different. I lost my train of thought. We
No,
provide a
it's all
lot
good.
of different opportunities and options to continue growing and developing.
Amazing. Amazing. What do you think about email outreach as a source of generating leads?
I mean, CRMs now a day already do that for us a lot. I know that people aren't using it as much, but it's still, we still have some that do. So I do believe in emails. I check mine every single day.
Hmm.
I do believe that it can be used. I know it's a little outdated for some of us, but it is
Why
an
do we feel like it's
option.
outdated?
I mean, people don't necessarily check their email to have a conversation. You do that through text,
Hmm.
through
For sure.
DMs, things of that nature. So yeah, reaching out for leads is not a bad thing through email. I just don't think that it's something that we continuously. I mean, we don't do it for leads. We kind of stay top of mind by reaching out when we do get a lead, but it's not something that we're outsourcing or reaching out to because, to be honest, some people don't check their emails. That's horrible, but they
Yeah, for
don't.
sure. No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But what would you say about, let's say we outreach 1,000 emails a day, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, all 1,000 of them aren't going to check their email. Surely some of
No.
them are going to check,
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
if we were able to propose the value within the email, surely some of some of us would get back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's
Interesting,
why, like I
interesting.
mentioned, and that's why I mentioned the CRM concept of it, because
Hmm.
sometimes we set things that are automated. I'm not gonna get into my computer and send the email per
Yeah,
se,
yeah,
but
yeah.
sometimes the CRM is very important, right? A good CRM is the one that you use. So being able
Hmm.
to have that outreach without me having to physically click buttons is amazing. We go back to technology, and yeah, and people do check them, right? But it
How much
doesn't
time does that actually save?
so much time, like a ton of time. Yeah, so much
Time,
time.
effort, energy, all of
Yes,
it, right?
everything. So
Who can
CRMs
be
to me
bothered
are
going on
important.
their
Yeah,
computer, finding
absolutely.
the email, writing the whole
Mm-hmm.
paragraph, and then sending it off, and then waiting for a
Yeah,
reply?
no,
There's so
absolutely
many
not.
elements to it,
Yeah.
for sure. That's very interesting. That now let's look into the future.
Hmm.
Where would you love to see Warren's financial group 6 to 12 months from now?
I would love to see it maybe double in size with the right people.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to see a lot more growth. I would like to see a lot more development. I would like to see the current teams that we have, maybe like branches. I would like to see our operations department just kind of maybe having a couple of leads, of team leads is what I
Hmm.
mean by leads.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
love to see like, maybe spreading out to other states, other cities, getting comfortable with the idea of growing elsewhere, developing in other markets, all of that fun stuff.
Interesting. Do we feel like we want to go international with it, or are we going to stay in America?
I mean, I do believe in one step at a time, and I feel like
Hmm.
there's so much opportunity here that we can kind of take ownership of
Mm.
it here first, and then continue growing out and outsourcing. Because different laws, different things are different in other countries.
Hmm.
So yeah, that would be great and ideal, but I would love to kind of just see us kind of take over some of these areas first to continue growing and developing within other states.
Absolutely, for sure. And what would be some of the methods we're trying to complete in order to achieve this goal?
It would be just getting, like I mentioned earlier, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable,
Hmm.
being able to go to other cities, other states, networking, our social media outreach. I know that sometimes we get people from other states or things of that nature. So just helping our brand, grow. And ensuring that we're doing everything we can to kind of continue the culture, continue the operation, so our work kind of speaks for itself.
Well, amazing, amazing answer there. Before we wrap up the main section, what would you say the biggest lesson you've learnt in your journey that helped you become the leader you are today? And that could be personal, business wise, however you'd like to answer.
The biggest, okay, can you ask that again?
What's the biggest lesson you've learnt
The
in your
biggest
journey
lesson.
that helped you become the leader you are today?
The biggest lesson, I think, for me would have to be biggest lesson. I think is that like I mentioned, when you asked me about the wand thing, like if I had a
Hmm.
wand, the biggest lesson for me would be to realize like my ability to do things. I think that's why I said that about the wand, is because
Mm.
at some point in time, I did kind of get in my own way to continue growing and stuff. So I think the biggest lesson was to not do that, right? So I know that it's easier said than
Sure,
done, but realistically, it would be that. It would be realizing what I'm capable of and how much
for
we've
sure.
done and grown in such a short period of time, and how I really am capable, and how we really do a great job, and not getting in our own way sometimes helps you bloom more. I know we overthink, we
Absolutely.
kind of, yeah.
And also the untapped potential, right? There's so much potential out there.
Yes. So many, yeah. There's so many things that you think you know a lot, but you don't know everything. And there's so much,
Hmm.
like we've talked growth, so much adaptability, so many things that we could continue learning and developing for the company, for the
Absolutely.
people. And I joke with the people here. I'm like, I'm perfect, but no, I'm not perfect. There's so many things that I still need to learn and
Yeah.
grow from, and I get excited to think about those. Don't get me wrong, there's been tears shed, there's
Oh,
been
of
things that
course.
have
Of
been
course.
done right, because I'm human, but
We all
to
are, right?
know that, yeah, to know that we're capable and that we can do so many things is just, I don't know, exciting.
Exciting for
Yeah.
sure. It's an amazing answer you've given there, Adriana. Adriana, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate the insight that you have brought today.
Thank you for having me.
Any last message you'd like to give our listeners, where to find you, website, LinkedIn, etc.?
So we have our Warren's Financial Group social media. warenslending.com. If you have questions or anything we can help with in regards to your purchase of a home or financing of a property, we're your go-to. We have people with heart and soul who give it their all. So yeah,
Amazing. Thank you so much, Adriana.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.